Number 10. FNAF 1 Main Menu Theme Song. Come on, how could we not start off with this absolute classic? The nostalgia alone makes it one of the scariest themes in the entire FNAF series. This background music is one of the first songs that we get to hear in the FNAF series. Now why is it so scary? Well, let's try and break it down a bit. It opens with this deep and somewhat guttural swell that already sets the tone and lets the audience know that this is a horror game, and those thunderous booms throughout it only further support that fact. The instrumentation they chose is also a great choice because they chose ones that are normally associated with the horror genre, such as timpanis, chimes, and large drums like bass drums. Now if you listen closely throughout the track as well, you will hear electricity surging and crackling, and this could be a subtle nod to the fact that not only do you have to conserve the energy you use throughout the night, but also the fact that the animatronics are the main enemies of the game. Number 9. Music Box Freddy. I'm sure we all remember the first time we ran out of power playing the first FNAF game and the terror we felt sitting in the dark not knowing what was going to happen. And then out of nowhere this music starts playing that sounds exactly like a child's music box, and we catch a glimpse of Freddy Fazbear himself to the left of us just before the screen goes black and we get the jump scare of a lifetime. The reason this is so scary is obviously because of the jump scare, but let's step back and look at the music for a second. Like I said before, this is very reminiscent of a child's music box, which isn't inherently scary by itself. What they did to make it scary was they added a ton of reverb and have it be slightly out of tune to insinuate that it's very, very old. Now could this be a music box that is somehow tied to Gabriel's soul? Honestly, who knows? Number 8. London Bridge is Falling Down. Featured at the very beginning of the FNAF 2 trailer is the classic nursery rhyme London Bridge is Falling Down. You know the one, sing it with me now. You know, London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down, London Bridge is falling down, my fair lady. That one. This is again not inherently scary, it's how it's used in the trailer that makes it scary. The first 14 seconds of the trailer features a small group of children, I want to say like 4 or 5, singing an a cappella version of the nursery rhyme that is slowed down just a bit with a ton of reverb on it. This could totally be the children whose souls are trapped within the animatronics. Now there's no exact meaning behind this nursery rhyme, but one explanation actually fits perfectly into the game's lore. The song refers to the burying, perhaps alive, of children in the foundations of the London Bridge. This was first advanced by Alice Bertha Gome in the traditional games of England, Scotland, and Ireland. It was based around the idea that a bridge would collapse unless the body of a human sacrifice was buried in its foundations, and that the watchman is actually a human sacrifice who will then watch over the bridge. Pretty scary, and honestly, doesn't the idea of children's souls trapped sound a little bit familiar? Number 7. FNAF 2 Trailer Song. Definitely the biggest banger on this list today. Like man, they went off on that production of the song and I am so here for it. So you probably guessed it, but this song is featured throughout the FNAF 2 trailer, directly after the London Bridge is falling down. With a bold, heavy, and deep drone note to start, coupled with an oscillating tone that fades in and out, already immediately creates a creepy atmosphere. The song gets pretty groovy from there on out with a sweet beat that is very reminiscent of 1980s house music, which immediately lets the viewer know that this game is set somewhere in the 80s, 1987 to be exact. Now I will admit that this song by itself wouldn't be scary, but the fact that it is heard alongside the new animatronics being shown makes for a fun and very uneasy experience. Number 6. FNAF 3 Stage 01 Golden Freddy minigame music. Another music box song on our list today, this time coming from the FNAF 3 Golden Freddy minigame. To trigger this minigame, you have to treat the tiles on the wall like a dial pad and type in 3, 9, 5, 2, 4, 8. And in order for the player to get the basic ending, the player must take control of Golden Freddy in a highly odd, clipping platform game. An exit door is present in the top right corner of this first room, which will end the minigame for good. Throughout this minigame, Tchaikovsky's Swan theme from Swan Lakes plays, and let me describe a bit of the meaning behind it. Swan Lake is a timeless love story that mixes magic, tragedy, and romance into 4 acts. It features Prince Siegfried and a lovely swan princess named Odette. Under the spell of a sorcerer, Odette spends her days as a swan swimming in a lake of tears, and her nights in her beautiful human form. Now I could just be speculating here, but this could be a nod to the fact that during the day the animatronics don't really do a whole lot, but at night they regain their humanity and come back to life. If that's actually the reason it's in the game, then hats off to you, Scott Cawthon. You are a genius. Number 5. FNAF Sister Location title theme. This one, I will admit, caught me by surprise. It had been a while since I listened to it, but man, is it a good one. Despite taking place in 1983, I couldn't really hear any 80s music influence aside from maybe the beat in the background. What really stuck out to me was 2 things: the mechanical sounds incorporated all throughout, and the interesting drone that appears about halfway through. The mechanical sounds got to me because it was kind of jarring to hear. It immediately lets the player know that this game is not taking place in the normal restaurants that we're used to, and that it's taking place in some sort of factory of some sort. Not to mention that it could be a nod to the fact that the animatronics that we encounter throughout the game are seriously tricked out with some serious mysterious tech. And then the drone gets to me because it sounds somewhat like a scream or a wail, which could totally be speculation, but hey, it's my opinion, right? The use of white noise is also great at setting the scary atmosphere because nothing is scarier than static and crackles. Number 4, BALLORA'S theme. Why do you hide inside your walls when there is music in my halls? All I see is an empty room, no more joy in empty tomb. It's so good to sing all day, to dance, to spin, to fly away. All I do is dance alone, but now I hear your flesh bone. I roam these halls alone all day, but now you're here, a friend and prey. Those are the lyrics to BALLORA'S song, so need I say more about it being scary, or are we good to move on? You know, I should probably say some more, shouldn't I? BALLORA sings this song in sister location, and I couldn't figure out the exact reason behind it, but let's do a bit of speculating. In my opinion, she is talking directly to the player, something that the animatronics rarely do, and she is acknowledging that you don't actually belong here, and that you should come out and play with her because she is just so lonely. And then she tells you that although you're a friend here, you are also their prey. All of that coupled with the scary reverb that makes her sound like this ethereal ghost just sends shivers up and down my spine. Number 3, Nowhere to Run. Coming to us from FNAF 6, aka Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator, comes Nowhere to Run. It has this overall creepy vibe right off the bat with its heartbeat like bass drum and melancholy strings. Combine that with these swells and crackles and you've made a track that perfectly accompanies a dark minigame. In researching this track, I found a comment from 2 years ago where Ray B made an amazing observation that I will definitely not take credit for, stating that around 2:13 in the song, if you listen closely you can hear these thuds in the background, like metal bodies falling against the floor as they release their spirits and shut down. There's also loud knocking and faint fire alarms in the distance. Springtrap is probably the one knocking against the doors or walls, as he has no escape from this grim ending. As Henry said, there are no exits. He doesn't want to leave his metal body as he wants to continue on with his murderous career, but he's slowly dying until eventually the knocking dies down, meaning that he meets his fate and is sent to hell. Good eyes and even better speculating, my friend. I love it. Number 2, I Got No Time by the Living Tombstones. Alrighty now folks, it is time for some fan songs. For these I won't really be going into too much detail about the actual instrumentation and whatnot, I'll just be singing their praises and giving a brief overview of what they're about. I Got No Time by the Living Tombstones is a fan song about the gameplay of FNAF 4 and what it feels like to not only be the player, but to be the character in the game as well. The lyrics describe how terrifying it feels to be in this world, having to survive each night with what feels like no time left at all to survive, while simultaneously also taking forever to get to that endpoint. It encapsulates the fear of not knowing if you're going to live to see the next day, and I truly love it, so if you haven't heard this one, I highly recommend you check it out for yourself. And number 1, We Are Aware by Delvondo. Now I really love this one. The first half of We Are Aware by Delvondo is all about our main animatronics, Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and Golden Freddy, and how they are fully aware of what they've been turned into and that they cannot control their actions. The entire song is a plea to the listener asking them not only for their help, but for forgiveness for their actions. However, halfway through the tone shifts a bit and we hear the toy animatronics sing about wanting to escape and being willing to do anything necessary to do so, including taking you out. All the animatronics join together at the end, all on the very same page now, wanting nothing more than to take you out and to escape for good. Give it a listen for yourself, it's definitely worth it.
And at number 10 is Open Up by Muse of Discord. And what starts off as a soft lullaby-esque track soon evolves into something more sinister. Sounds fitting. The song turns into a bit of an origin track for the characters in the game in this one, and it's pretty poetic. Let's take a look. Up next, number 9 is Notice by MANDOPONY. If you guys have seen our other lists, you're definitely familiar with our affinity for MANDOPONY's musical mastery. We featured a couple of his other songs on our other lists, and they're all pretty damn great. And there's even a couple of fan-made music videos kicking around on YouTube too. Up next, number 8 is We Won't Bite by JT Machinima. A mix of electronic and rap, this song uses terrifying footage from Five Nights at Freddy's 4, and it's been edited during parts of the chorus to seem as if Freddy and the gang are singing the lyrics themselves. If you haven't played Five Nights at Freddy's 4, definitely check out the entirety of this video to get a better but brief glimpse at some of the scarier parts of the game. And at number 7 is It's Time to Die by DA Games. This won't be the last time we mention DA Games on our list. And before we get into this track, it's worth noting that you should check out his channel. He does a lot of other really amazing game-based musical tracks that are oh so worth listening to, plus a bunch of really cool Let's Play videos. Anyway, back to the Five Nights at Freddy's song. So this track is specifically inspired by Five Nights at Freddy's 3, which it declares a few times in the song itself, and don't be surprised when it gets stuck in your head. Up next, number 6 is Purple by MANDOPONY. Many a fan claim that this one may be MANDOPONY's best track. Feel like you can say that about a lot of MANDOPONY's tracks though. It's from the perspective of Purple Guy, which, because of how well the song is done, only further complicates our already complex feelings towards the Purple Guy. Damn it. It's a rock song that since being uploaded in 2015 has pulled in over 3.8 million views. Not too shabby. And our number 5 spot is Nightmare from Nate Wants to Battle. Nathan Sharp, aka Nate Wants to Battle, never disappoints when it comes to his Five Nights at Freddy's songs. Nathan weaves in his charismatic vocals with a solid rock track in this memorable and visually dynamic lyric video. And there's actually a ton of people in the comments who profess their love for this song despite not being huge fans of the game. Weird. But see, music brings us all together, doesn't it? And at number 4 is Stay Calm by Griffinilla. A self-proclaimed lighthearted song inspired by the first Five Nights at Freddy's game, this track uploaded by Fandroid Music has over 8 million views. And that description? Well, it's pretty spot on. With vocals by Jeff Burgess, this is definitely one of the catchier songs on our list this time around, and features a couple of different voices playing the roles of Freddy, Foxy, Bonnie, and Chica, with a few bits of hilarious dialogue at the very end of the song to finish it off. Up next in our number 3 spot is It's Me by Try Hard Ninja. In a pretty house electronic track, It's Me uses some of the more compelling yet terrifying footage from the games. Plus, that drop. So well done. And the lyrics are damn catchy too. With the song made by Try Hard Ninja and the video produced by Smike, the video has over 3.27 million views as of this recording. And at number 2 is Break My Mind by DA Games. With over 40 million views, it's easy to see why so many people feel in the comments that this track is the best Five Nights at Freddy's song, like, ever. It's got a poignant beat with fantastic lyrics and a bridge to die for. No pun intended there. Which, all things considered, is pretty typical of this channel. Check it out. And finally, in our number 1 spot is Die in a Fire by The Living Tombstone. 80 million views. Damn. Well, for starters, this music video is really well done and quite captivating, so it does make sense. And the track? Well, give it a listen for yourself. With 80 million views, I can see why it's really difficult to not want to listen to this one on repeat. Also, I kinda love all of the comments joking about how the video is gonna be flagged for cruelty towards animatronics. Cheeky. And at number 10 is Follow Me by Try Hard Ninja. Another great 8-bit video for you guys. But aside from the awesome video, the track is fantastic. If you guys like dance tracks that you can really get up and move to, this one will definitely be up your alley. Also, kinda love that we get an end of video disclaimer all about the people responsible for the aspects of the video and the song. It's really neat. And at number 9 is Balloons by MANDOPONY. Five Nights at Freddy's 3. With over 9 million views, fans tend to refer to this one as one of the sadder Five Nights at Freddy's songs. And it's by MANDOPONY, who, if you watched our previous list, you'll know has done a lot of really impressive tracks based off this game, or rather, the franchise. And take a listen, I think you'll probably agree about that whole sad. Still beautiful though. Up next, number 8 is Mechanical Instinct by AVIATORS. AVIATORS' track for Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is a well-crafted song that is undeniably catchy. It's a little reminiscent of Sweet Dreams by the Eurythmics in the chorus. Apparently they're a big inspiration for a lot of fan songs out there on YouTube. And with that in mind, this one will definitely get stuck in your head. In the video description, AVIATORS stated that, I quote, "I didn't want to do it. I refused to hop on the bandwagon and make a Five Nights at Freddy's song just like every other YouTuber musician. But the temptation was too much. It's one of those things, I guess, it just inspires awesome music." Very much agreed. Up next at 7 is Five Nights at Freddy's Rap by Video Game Rap Battles. We featured a rap on our last list, a parody of My Name Is by Eminem actually. And this time around, we're featuring another track of the same genre. This one's by Video Game Rap Battles. And aside from being a good track, it's also got some great humorous moments, and uses some solid in-game footage for the video too. Check it out. And at number 6 is Animaltronics by Shadrow. Published on September 15th, 2014, this track has over 343,000 views. And with its rock riff mixed with eerie lyrics, it's easy to see why people dig it. I was getting a lot of inquiries about the name of the song. And as he explains, the title Animaltronics is intentional play on the word animatronics. Up next, number 5 is Mangled by Nate Wants to Battle. Here's a song that we really wanted to include on the first part of our list, but unfortunately, it's a top 10 list and not a top 11. How absurd. Anyway, Nate Wants to Battle is one of the more beloved Five Nights at Freddy's song creators out there, and Mangled doesn't disappoint. If you're a hard rock fan, this one's for you. And even if you're not, you'll be able to appreciate the well-crafted lyrics regardless. Up next, number 4 is Five Nights at Freddy's 2, Sayonara Maxwell. Get ready for some real catchy rhymes. Sayonara Maxwell, aka Say Maxwell, is pretty damn popular on YouTube when it comes to Five Nights at Freddy's songs. This track in particular has over 7 million views, and is a fun electronic piece that, while it might not get stuck in your head, is really memorable for its specific lyrics. Give it a listen. And when you're done, check out Say Maxwell's channel for some other great gaming themed tracks. Next up at number 3 is I Got No Time by The Living Tombstone. This one has a bit more emphasis on the music compared to some of the other The Living Tombstone Five Nights at Freddy's songs. The track is accompanied by a visually entertaining video to boot, with all the colors of an 80s psychedelic drug trip at night. Too specific? Anyway, give it a listen. It's a banger. A banger with over 27 million views, that is. Up next, number 2 is Never Be Alone by Shadrow. A Five Nights at Freddy's 4 song, Never Be Alone is one of Shadrow's most popular, and it has a pretty great animated little video that goes along with it. Simplicity goes a long way, especially especially with horror. Upbeat and dramatic, Never Be Alone captures the essence of the fourth game with a fun twist, and the bridge is oh so satisfying. And finally, in our number 1 spot is the Bonnie song by Groundbreaking. This song comes at us from Bonnie's point of view. Created by Groundbreaking, the version of the video uploaded to Minecraft Gamer's YouTube channel has over 6 million views, and is accompanied by a great music video with some solid and effective editing. There's a tragic component to it too that's hard not to appreciate. And at number 10 is Stay Away From Me from Nate Wants to Battle. Starting out this list, we've got a parody of a mainstream song that's been FREDDY'S. FREDDY'S? Well, you guys know what I mean. Anyway, it's from Nate Wants to Battle. And if you guys don't recognize the song that it's a parody of, well, it's Sam Smith's Stay With Me. Let's give it a listen. Nate Wants to Battle, aka Nathan Sharp, uploaded the song in October 2014, and since then it has 3.9 million views as of this recording. Impressive. Up next at number 9 is The Show Must Go On by MANDOPONY. MANDOPONY's Five Nights at Freddy's tracks managed to be reminiscent of the plot of the game while being well composed, which aside from the best of the best tends to be a problem with some of the more amateur fan songs out there. Writing music isn't easy, guys. This one's also just a fun track too. With over 13 million views as of this recording, it's definitely something that's worth a listen. Sing a chair, friends, sing a chair. And at number 8 we have Welcome to Freddy's by Madame McCabe. Sampling from the game itself, Madame McCabe crafts a pretty terrifying track with Welcome to Freddy's. Fans really dug this one for its smart lyrics, and the video has racked in almost 10 million views since it was uploaded in November of 2014. Talk about a creepy lyric video. Up next at number 7 is The Puppet by Gato Paint. Trippy puppet animation and rock music? Well, that's what we get with this number and its rock melody. The start of the track gives us a pretty scary soundscape before the guitars bust in, making it pretty on point thematically too. Although I feel like if I stare at the video for too long, my vision gets woozy. Let me know if you guys feel the same way. And at number 6 is Just Gold by MANDOPONY. Another MANDOPONY for you guys at this number. So Just Gold again features the art of Orlando Fox in the video, which is pretty damn awesome. And the video itself has racked in over 19 million views on YouTube as of this recording. A lot of people feel like this is MANDOPONY's best Five Nights at Freddy's track. I don't know, what do you guys think? I definitely think it shows a lot of diversity musically compared to his other tracks, but may not be as catchy as one of the other MANDOPONY tracks still coming up on our list. And with that in mind, let's move on to our next number, which is number 5, It's Been So Long by The Living Tombstone. This one is accompanied by a pretty awesome 8-bit music video that's incredibly entertaining, with an actual narrative and everything. The Living Tombstone has a bit of a reputation for fantastic Five Nights at Freddy's songs, which we'll be touching on more later on, but for now, let's take a look at this video in its 8-bit glory. With over 63 million views as of this recording, this one really has a music video feel to it, and fans just can't seem to get enough of it. And at number 4 is 5 More Nights by JT Machinima. This one is pretty amazing, and it's a rap, so it's a take on Eminem's My Name Is, and it's from the perspective of Freddy. It's not only well crafted, but definitely brings the chuckles too. Plus it has a chorus that easily gets stuck in your head. Gotta love those parody tracks. And at number 3 is YGIO, Game Over by Mia Triss. Uploaded on the Mia Rizzy TV YouTube channel, this track is quite reminiscent of Sweet Dreams by Eurythmics, and it caters to all the dramatics right off the top with its compelling music video despite being very simplistic in concept. Gotta love it when there's a good video rather than just lyrics. I know what song I'm gonna have stuck in my head later today. And our number 2 spot is Survive the Night by MANDOPONY. Another entry from MANDOPONY here. Last one, I promise, but he's just so damn good. While some feel that Just Gold is a better track, this song crafted for Five Nights at Freddy's 2 scores points for being a solid pop track that isn't just likable because of its lyrics. It's less of a rock alternative for those who aren't really into that genre, but still incredibly catchy. Hey, deep down we all love a good pop track, don't we? Maybe that's just me. And finally, in our number 1 spot is the Five Nights at Freddy's song by The Living Tombstone. This song is pretty epic. If you're new to Five Nights at Freddy's fan-made music, it's still likely that this one might sound familiar to you. It's wildly popular, and it's easy to see why. Super darn catchy, that's why. As of this recording, The Living Tombstone has over 108 million views on this video, with over 1 million likes. It's absurdly crazy, but I mean, give it a listen.